Hannes Productions presents Child Labor Podcast. Child labor is an unacceptable inequality that many children in India experience every day. Child labor is mainly specified as children working under the age of 14 in developing countries and 15 and 16 in developed or almost developed countries. Even though child labor is against the UN Convention on the Child Rights, many adults make children work all over the world, especially in India. This crime is mainly caused by poverty, but there are way more causes than that. Many NGOs have tried to save children from child labor with a certain success. In this podcast, you will be able to find out more about the child labor in India, its causes, and its possibilities to reduce it. In India, child laborers have to work from morning till evening, which is about 8 to 16 hours of work per day, 7 days a week, and if they're lucky, they have a lunch break included. The jobs that the children have decide on gender and age. Normally the jobs are different, but sometimes they're the same. Girls make cheap jewelry and boys work in quarries. Some other jobs that children have are newspaper boys, selling food or working at a snack booth. Other examples are cotton growing or agriculture, matchbox making, lock making, mines and tea garden, etc., etc. For all those jobs, they are paid about $1.50 per day. One child called Nito works from morning till evening and only has one lunch break. For the whole work she's doing, she gets 100 rupees. She works in toxic air conditioning, melting bracelets together for wealthier women. Her family had her start working because they didn't have enough money after her father had died. He had the same job as she is doing right now. Neetu started to work at the age of 7 and has never seen a school in her life. Neetu is a good example for what is happening around India in context of child labor. Children are supposed to have fun and learn, not work all day in health-damaging conditions. The United Nations Convention for the Child Rights states that children have 4 rights. 1. The right to survival, which means children have the right to a happy and healthy life. 2. The right to protection, which means children have the right to be safe from all types of harm. In other words, they have the right to be protected from anything that makes them feel uncomfortable and unsafe. 3. The right to development, which means the children have the right to go to school and learn, have fun and play. 4. Children have the right to participate in activities and share their opinions or issues with others. Many people are breaking this convention, especially in India, where approximately 60 million children are working in the year 2017 to 2018, according to the NGO Deutsches Kinderhilfswerk. Child labor is mainly caused by poverty when the family of the children need extra money. Children have to work so that the family can get their daily meal or shelter to stay. Also, some local traditions believe that your children have to work, which also connects that some cultures believe that children should participate in what their parents are doing. In some places, gender and ethnic discrimination can play a role in girls of minority groups. They have to work because they are considered less worthy of education than boys. Another cause is debt bondage, in which a poor family gets advance payment and then the family hands over a child to work down the debt. Employers also mostly employ children because they can be paid smaller wages than the adults. Child labor can hardly be stopped because there is always a person or group that ignores the rules or convention. But if you listen to this podcast, you will find out some more ways to stop it by yourself or reduce child labor. Educate yourself so that you can educate others. Educate others so that everyone knows how bad child labor is, so that they can take action. Take children out of their jobs for a few hours so that they can at least have some hours of education, because if you have no education, you have no future. Kindly check with the shop owners where their goods come from and if it comes from child labor or not. Look for certificate fair trade objects so that it isn't children that made it. Grow your own food so you can avoid child laborers in agriculture. Share time and money, which means eat a little bit less, and donating money to some NGOs or groups that help free children from child labor by supporting the families or other project work. Some groups / NGOs that are trying to save children from child labor are Save the Children, the Global March, and the Global March Against Child Labor, IIECL, Love 146, Stop Child Labor Coalition, Happy Feet Home, and Deutsches Kinderhilfswerk. They all have the goal to free children or at least educate them a couple hours. Heartbreaking, sad, but interesting. Like this I feel about this topic. It is so sad thinking that other children our age are working day and night, not going to school or having any fun. Thinking about all those children working in the world and not knowing what childhood is like makes me feel droopy. I chose this topic because I wanted to find out what children my age or younger are doing, why, what, and if there's any law against it, this inequality. I wanted to know all about child labor, and when I found out the land I am living in had approximately the most child labor in the world, I chose that topic. I really was pulled by what it was like to be a child laborer and how many of us even complained to just wash the dishes. These children work so long and don't really complain. They just work and work and work. If these children don't get any chance of education like we have, they have no future. And their future generation will also have no future. Every single child should have the possibility for a bright future.
Stop child labor.
Stop child labor.
Stop child labor.
Stop child labor.
We should stop child labor.